So, a very good evening to one and all. Today on Thoughts on Education, we have with us Dr. Sarit Kumar. Dr. Sarit Kumar is the owner and director of RS College of Management and Science, Bangalore. Doctor has worked over 28 years in corporate and as an academician. He has worked with companies like ITC, MRF, Xerox, AK Birla Group. He is also a renowned professor in IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta, and IIM Shillong. So, a very, very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, my first question would be that you have held key positions at your educational institutes throughout your professional career. So, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector in general, in a whole?
See, education is a place, Tejas, where we are the resource providers, and we are the people. We should be linked very clearly with the corporates, and what is the need parameter should be very well known to all the professors. And tomorrow, when we are developing resources, we should develop resource based on the corporate requirement. We should not develop resource based on curriculum based approach, which is a typical UGC approach. But the difference between the center of excellence and the UGC is only one. One follows a curriculum based approach, other follows a corporate based approach. So as a professor and a person who has worked in the corporate, I have blended both, the requirement of the corporate, and I have tried to devise courses on education which is of a fulfillment of a corporate objective. Vertical wise, for example, there also I will say vertical wise, because IT requirement is different, production requirement is different, manufacturing requirement is different, service industry is different. So right. Each industry you have to prepare students basically based on those verticals. That is what proficiency goes on, and I work on that. I hope I.
Great. Yes, you did, sir. My next question would be that as a director and a very important decision maker at the College of RS, College of Management and Science, how would you define your leadership style?
See, the leadership style is more of a participative nature. It is not on a down, up-down approach or a downtrend approach. I'll tell you the reason behind it. See, when you are working with the center of excellence like IITs, IIMs, ISC, there you are working with a team which understands things very fast. When you are working with colleges like RS, or you can say Mufassil colleges, or rural-based colleges, the teachers and the faculties have to be first explained what is the objective, and then the objectives have to be brought into implementation, and then the implementation has to be brought into output. So in all the three levels, you have to basically work. Whereas in as far as your in center of excellence, as long as you've got the idea, the takers are very fast. The professor are also so well efficient. They take up things very fast. But what I have seen in these colleges, when you are in the leadership position, you have to be with them at all levels and guide them. So more of a participative style here, and more of a directorial style in the center of excellence.
That's great to know. Yeah, it's a combination of both is always the best.
Combination of both, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, so my next question would be that if you compare Indian institutes and foreign institutes, the course curriculum and mostly the way of teaching, it's more practical in nature, right?
Yes.
What students, what kind of opportunities do foreign students or abroad students have when they come to RS College of Management and Science?
See, foreign students, you have to appreciate one thing: they are very good in practical and application.
Right.
When it comes to theoretics, they are very weak, Tejas. They prefer to do things hands-on. And when it comes to teaching and learning, so what the most important thing in the bridge course when we bring them here, they are put into a 2 months bridge course. See, they are good in practical and application. They are very good in internet. There is very good in example glorifications. They will do very well. But when it comes to theory, you have to give them a big, reorientation. So we give them first 3 months, we orient them into the theoretical practices. And what we do is we tell them only in the class that this is the theoretical model and this is how the theoretical model is done in practical. And they come up with a beautiful presentation, and they will come up with an application process, which I'm sorry to say the Indian students lack. The Indian students are very good in theory, but the minute you ask them question that what is the application and the using part of the theory, they're absolutely dumb. And that is why they don't get a job. They don't get an aspirated job. The reason being there are a bunch of theoreticians not understanding how corporates are going to use it in practice. And corporates want practical and application people. See, let me tell you, students are not to be blamed. It is we professors who have to, go down to that level and start the teaching. So that is what we do, basically.
So I think it has more to be involved with the kind of curriculum we have in our colleges and schools, right?
Yes.
Starting from looking at the primary education, starting from class 1 or 2, I think the practicality has to start from there, rooting up to the...
I will not say 1 and 2, Tejas. I'll not say 1, but the recent NEP policy which you have, 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4, whatever the NEP policy, maybe the 5-year part, that is from 9th to your college, is the time the practical, coding, all these things. And the government of India is also looking at that. At that level, we start the coding exercise. We should not do it in computer science engineering. We should start from 9th standard itself. I think that is where the student's brain is opened up the maximum. So the recipients can take that very fast. Okay? Tejas?
Yeah. Sure, sir. Okay. My next question would be that how does the curriculum of RS College specially...
Pardon, sir. Come out again.
Yeah. So how does the curriculum of RS College specially ensures that it is the best practice in the industry?
I'll tell you the most important thing. Yeah, I have got it. See, Tejas, what we do there is we have broken the curriculum into a 40, 30, 30. Now, I will first explain you what is this 40. When a student comes into the first year, his impetus is more on the theoretical aspect, which is 60%. But 20% we give practical and 20% we leave it as application. The minute the student graduates to a second year, the theoretics go down to about 50, practical goes to 30, and your 20% remains as application. Third year is basically student knows the theory now. He is only doing the specialization. Okay. Right. I'm talking about UG, then I'll take the PG later. So in UG third year, it is 40% theoretics because they know the theoretic, and 30% practical and 30% application. Because application is something we have to give more in the third year. Now, when they go for a post-graduation, you have to understand post-graduation is an extension of a graduation. Right. Now, most of the students, their theory is very strong. For example, if you are doing a post-graduation MBA marketing, if you have done a BCom or a BBA, you are already pretty clear about the basic concepts of marketing. Now, what you do in MBA is more of practical and more of application, 20% of theory. There is a little bit of extension of theory. And in the final year of MBA, you're only talking about projects and internships. So project and internship is more on the final year of an MBA. So this 5 years, the guy from a school converts itself into a senior manager, by the time they finish out their MBA. And that is what the placement and the corporate team also wants.
That's
the output of resource they want. Okay.
That's correct. Got it, sir. Okay. So my next question would be that, sir, what do you think are the roles and responsibilities of the students of RS College, and how are you looking at the next 10 years in terms of curriculum, academics, and other facilities at RS College for the next 10 years? So how are you looking at it?
We have to break it up into a short term, middle term, and a long term. Yeah. Okay. So the short term will be the next 3 years immediately. The next 3 years, how I look at it is we have to literally prepare the students in the intermediary part of a pre and the post-COVID. That is one. More on a technical, more on a next 3 years will be more on a techno-commercial model, which I am seeing in the next 3 years for the students. Maybe another 3 years it will transfer into blended. That is offline, online. So 5 years from now, I am going to work with them on offline, online. 10 years will be basically a new normal, wherein industries will change in the next 5 years. The industries, requirements will change. And the most important thing which will happen is the silo working will go off. It will be more group working. So I'll be preparing my student in the long term to basically work in the group and manage silo both. They have to get this transformation of silo working and group working both. Right now, either you're working in silos or you're working in group. But 10 years from now, your flexibility level of the students have to be much more than what it is today. They should, whenever you get a project, you should flexibility yourself and immediately be prepared for the project in the next 2 months. There is no more time of 6 months probation and 3 months probation from next 10 months. It will be very fast. 15, 20 days, you have to be up and kicking. That is what
Right.
requirement in the long term. Post
Right.
COVID. So COVID has come as a blessing, I will say. While most of the people will say it is a challenge, I say it's come as a blessing because our resource model have literally changed. Only the people who are really good, they will survive.
Right.
Who are always ready to work out of their comfort zone will survive. And the long term, it will moving out of your comfort zone and start work. That is
Right.
how we are preparing students in RS College.
That's correct, sir. And when you mention, in 5 years looking at offline to online, so are you talking about the transformation or a combination of both offline and online kind of a learning model?
Both. Tejas, both will be here to stay. You cannot transform totally. Online and offline both are here to stay. See what government is telling 1.5 years from now, they will ask the students to come to the campus. But let me tell you, it will again be on a different mode altogether. Every student will not come to the campus. The teachers here will have to teach offline as well as online both. Because social distancing, you have to understand one thing, Tejas. The problem is, if you have, for example, a college like Jain University, you have 1,000 students. At any point of time, you cannot keep more than 200 students. That means
That's correct.
5 different time zones. Now, 5 different time zones. So please understand, these are going to be the challenges for the colleges. So the offline and online both will run. Whatever teachers they teach in the offline, the same thing they will teach online. And then the online students come next day. The timetable will get shifted into blended. That is why we are trying to say blended.
More like a rotational basis that is now followed
More
in
like a
offices
rotational basis.
probably.
And the
Yeah.
key person here will be the faculty who has to adjust, not the students. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, always tell my faculty, students will remain in their mental semblance what they are, but the faculties have to change themselves. When we're teaching over the portal, when you're talking to you, and when I'm in person, I have to change my modology of communication. So this is what I always tell my faculties, and this is what I will tell to all the faculties. And even in the Center of Excellence, you'll be surprised to know that the faculties, they have told in the IIT, IIMs, ISCs, that they have rechanged their teaching methodology altogether. You know, on a student portal basis, when they're off, seeing them and talking, things were different. Over a virtual platform, it's totally different. So when the Center of Excellence is changing, we better change very fast.
Okay, got it, sir. So, okay, that's so about the college more. So, what are the kind of facilities one can avail at the RS College in terms of like
See,
hostels?
facilities means you have a wonderful library, you have the digital library. Again, we are modifying the digital library more, taking the future into consideration. Then you have, everything here. Now, again, I will tell you the infrastructure will take a back seat. From the to come, most of the colleges, whether it is RS or whether it's any, they'll spend a hell of a lot of amount on infrastructure. Now, let me tell you, now the future spending for the chairmans would be more on the, teaching, learning, pedagogy rather than the infrastructure, because your computer lab of 60 will do the major job rather than the classroom based learning, because all of them will not reach the classroom. So your whole process, so you will have to upgrade your labs, you have to upgrade your teaching methodology, you have to buy more softwares. This is what we are doing. And we have to inculcate those softwares into teaching learning processes. And the evaluation of NAC will also be now more on teaching learning processes rather than the infrastructure.
That's right.
Because of infrastructure, but those infrastructure in the times to come will take a back seat, and teaching learning process will be the major thing. And let me tell you, good faculties will always be more in demand, but those people who want to stay in their comfort zone will die out very fast. That I'm telling both the things. So it is not bringing in fears inside the faculty's mind. It is better that they start improving themselves. COVID time where the faculties must improve, and those improvement have to be transformed to the students.
That's correct.
Transform it to the student, the more better students you come out, the more placement happens. And let me tell you, from the times to come, I am seeing a good placement cap increase. Right now, the entry level is 25K. It will immediately bottom up. It will only, blossom up to 60,000 minimum, because we expect these students to do multiple jobs in their first job itself on a platform, on a technical platform. So techno management is going to be the big future shakeup in the times to come. And that is where future works.
Okay, right, sir. Sir, what would be the greatest strength you feel for RS College, especially?
See, the greatest strength I will again say is the teaching learning process.
Okay.
Structure, not so good. I will tell you, not those acreage of Amity universities and all that infrastructure you will not find. But we don't compromise on teaching. Teaching is something, and teaching, when I say practical, application, and theory, all three.
Theory.
All merged into a modular format. That is what teaching. So we give a lot of importance to teaching, and ultimately we give importance more to internship and placements.
Okay, okay. So it's more on the pedagogy
And
point of view, right? And yeah, so looking at same like 40-30-30 model which you mentioned,
yeah.
trying to implement that in the college would be a
Yes.
it's
Yes.
okay. Got it. So my second last question would be that, sir, what are some of the plans that you are currently implementing for helping students in your college? And you're also associated with a lot of colleges like Imperial, Oxford, right? So what are some of the plans or some kind of courses that you are working on right now that will help the students in a
In the
big
future, what we are going to work on with all these colleges is fusion. When I say fusion courses, I always say bringing, fusionating the teaching process, like HR, marketing, fusionating together, and developing some courses, like courses on transaction analysis, courses on HR modulations, courses on multi-vertical strategies, courses. When I take foreign universities, we are talking about courses, especially courses developed into their environment and their marketing functions, their marketo production fusions. So likewise, it is not going to be in future, you are not going to learn only one specialization. It will be multiple specialization on a fusionate angle. And so if you learn on a fusionate angle, the benefit is you can work at any department. Like today you're working in marketing, you can be shifted to finance. From finance, you can go to production. And when you grow up the ladder, see, when you become a branch manager, regional manager, and general manager, you're supposed to know everything. You are supposed to run a nation. I mean, if you're a country manager, how will you run a nation? Like when I was in Xerox, I was completely taking care of Southeast Asia. That was 2 countries. Now, 2 countries means the total thinking process is different of Singapore and India. But you have to transform yourself. Your supply chain logistics was more in Singapore, and more of marketing angle and the service mechanism was more here in India. So, fusionating both. So from the corporate only, I got this idea of fusion, and then we started developing this course. And you'll be surprised. The similar problem is in the Center of Excellence also. The typical IIT student is very good in technology, but when it comes to management, they are bit of take a back seat. So with these fusion courses, management acumen also goes up, and vice versa. A management student can have a technical acumen going up. So we have some courses like that. So they crack the interviews, and which helps them in getting a huge aspirated job. I mean, 17 rounds of Google, you can easily do it if you are a techno management qualified. So that is what is going to be the future, to answer your question.
So is that course already available in colleges? And if so, what are the kind of colleges?
Very few, as I said, it is available only in the Center of Excellence right now. And I am now trying to give it out to the open under a very close supervision, not available to everybody. They'll be properly assessed. That is why I was looking at a partnership, which I told you, that we will assess the proper college. We will assess the students. We'll start with a batch of 40. We are not in a hurry. 40 into maybe 20 colleges, 800 students. Bring in that focus in that, yes, this is the future. And automatically we can cover 40 lakhs in the long term. So that is going to be the future. Faster we see it, it is better. Otherwise, we will lose the race, because this is going to be the future.
And sir, how is this course picking up? Like, you have launched it quite some time. How is this
tremendously
picking up?
picking up? Tremendously. Like, I think all the 23 IITs and the 18 IIMs are doing it.
Okay, so, wow, that's great to know.
All have gone through this, and the whole teaching methodology is like that. I mean, if you see DeKal is one of the units of IIM Bangalore, which is brought in, predictive analytics and IoT into the management course. So you can understand now.
Okay, so, wow.
Are into AI, predictive analytics, as well as IoT and 5G, although they are management students. See, the benefit here is you're also, along with the management, you have that benefit. So this is the thing, the way course modulations have happened. And I really want to give it to a 70% percentile student who really gets a huge benefit out of this and really excels in life, and he can catch up the IIM ladder very fast. Because let me tell you, IITs and IIMs, we don't stick very long anywhere, but these students will stick, on a lighter part. So, yeah, on the job. So that even the industry is looking for them. But unfortunately, industry is not getting students of that nature. So they land up into the IIT IIM campus. I'll tell you very frankly, on the placement. Yeah.
So pretty sure, sir. I mean, makes sense what you say, and I personally feel that if the students who are not from the IITs, IIMs get handheld by courses like this,
Correct.
they will have to catch it up, and probably they will also increase their opportunities in the job market as such to be
Absolutely.
more eligible for the kind of
Yes.
positions the IITs
Yes.
and IIM guys are
Yes.
given.
Yes.
Makes sense. Absolutely wonderful, sir. So my last question would be that: do you have any kind of advice for the current students and the aspiring, graduates?
See, the biggest advice which I feel, which I would like to give it to current student is, please start remodulating your brains and don't keep a bull effect. Don't keep of thinking that this is my line, I'm only going to develop. Don't think like a specialist, think like a generalist. Don't be a specialist, because specialist era is going. Post COVID, pre COVID, the things were, this is a huge difference which has come. Pre COVID, you were basically, you could, I'm a marketeer, I have done all through marketing, and then I will work only in marketing. That is not going to work. You have to be a generalist. For example, I'm a basically a marketing and an HR professor, but you won't imagine, in the last 8 months I have developed myself on IT. If I, as a professor, I'm ready to improve my AI, e-commerce, and I'm now teaching e-commerce, AI, IoT, whereas I'm a hardcore marketing professor. So please understand your comfort zone. Please break the shackles of your comfort zone if you want to move fast up the ladder. My advice to all the future students is, try to open your brains and look for new businesses, new area of operations. You will have new avenues coming up of growth. Those conventional jobs will go, new version jobs are going to come. So be prepared for the new version jobs rather than the conventional job. And as a student, take everything. Most of the students I have seen, even in my campus, I have seen that, sir, marketing job I will not take. My God, everything starts with marketing. If you HR, you have to be a good marketeer, then only you can get resource inside. If you are finance, you have to market your company so much that investors are going to come. So tell me, if marketing is not there, you have to market yourself. So I tell my students, the basic building block is marketing. On that, you start building your specialization. So my advice to all the student is, break the shackles of specialization, start specializing in everything, and whatever the job wants, accept it. Your first job is, you have to do everything, right? Peon to your managing director. The area which is given to you, you are managing director of that area. That is how I have lived my life in ITC. I have lived my life in MRF. When I was a regional manager, the things were different. When I was a country manager, things were different. When I was the area manager, things were different. But one thing was common. I was the MD of my area.
Mm.
When you become an MD and a chairman of your area, your entrepreneurship skills have to go up. So my advice to student is, be an intrapreneur. Be an entrepreneur. Although you will be working, but your brain should work like an entrepreneur. So for an entrepreneur, that area is basically your business model. You have to grow. So this is my advice to the students. Ready to take all the challenges. Ready. Don't say no to any job. You will definitely rise up. If you stay in your comfort zone, if you have your bull effect thinking, you will not grow. And post-COVID times, you will not grow at all, because jobs will be less, but only for those people, those who deserve. I'm not bringing in fears, but students, this is for students. Try to equip yourself, try to learn as much as possible in the next 2 to 3 years, because that will be the demand in the next 5 years by the corporate. Corporates are very clear. They don't have time to waste. They want who are prepared material rather than semi-prepared material. So that fulfill if you want a good job. This is for
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I mean, pretty sure, sir, that COVID has a big impact on everyone's life, especially the education and the job market scene. As you said that jobs will be available only for the good and the best,
So
right?
jobs will be plenty, Tejas. Let me tell you, I'm talking to FKCCI president the other day. Jobs will be plenty, but only those who deserve.
Right.
More passengers. Even this time, when I was talking to Infosys and Cognizant vice president, they came to the campus, so I was discussing with them. I mean, they made it very clear that we are going to the campus hiring this time also. Sabyasachi Banerjee of Atos Siemens vice president, he told me, we are going to campus hiring, but we are only taking students who are semi-prepared. We are no longer taking passengers that 40,000, 10,000, 5,000.
Bulk hiring.
500, that's all. But good 500 students. So job will be plenty, and you'll be surprised. I mean, there were students from MS Ramaiah where I also take up some courses. So there are students with 5 jobs this year. Can you believe it? 5 job offers, because that student has developed in data analytics. That student, apart from engineering, and you'll be surprised that girl was doing her specialization in telecommunication, and she did data analysis, she did AI, she did Amazon web, this all as certification courses, and with 7 certifications she has 5 jobs, equivalent to IIT. IIT Delhi student does not have it. So it is now not going to be in the future the IITs will get a job. It is the student who has certifications, added certifications in your BTech and in your management will get jobs. And not only certification, you should be hands-on. You should do implementation based on their certification. So their jobs are plenty, Tejas, only for people those who deserve. Not for passengers. Let you come. What is your name? What are your future? Why do you want to join Infosys? Those style of questioning will also change in the times to come. Hence, taken Fusion courses on interview diplomacy. We are training students on interview diplomacy. You'll be surprised, we're training students on resume writing in Fusion.
Okay.
Resumes have to be changed in future in a CD format, and in a offline online format, preparing the resumes, creating a project, creating a practicality out of the project, and doing a presentation in the interview. IBM is taking students like that. They give a presentation in 14 minutes. If you can do that, you got the job. If you don't do that, we don't want you. So the style of taking people has changed, and that is more going to happen post-COVID. So colleges have to prepare for it. Industry is prepared. Let me tell you, college has to prepare. And those colleges, Tejas, who are staying in their comfort zone with infrastructure, I am telling you, in the long term, those infrastructure will remain as a real estate. Those college will be over. Nobody is going to see infrastructure now in the times to come, post-COVID. So you have to come out of the comfort zone. You have to tell your faculties to learn more. You have to tell your faculty to do some cross-cultural learning, cross-vertical learning. And that is what you'll be surprised. Even in the Center of Excellence, the professors have gone back to the building blocks. We have started reading books. We are spending 8 to 10 hours in the library now to upgrade ourselves. You know why? Because students have become so intelligent. The minute we teach something, they Google it and they find out what is the input. So while we don't know, they know. So your future students are going to be more tech savvy. So it is where you become tech savvy and more knowledgeable and if you continue to stay in your comfort zone, I am sorry to say that professor is going to die down. But jobs will be plenty, money will be plenty. The money which is being doled out in the education industry is unthinkable right now. People say teachers are not being paid. Only those teachers are not being paid who are not, qualified properly. Teachers who are properly qualified, who are really good, who can vacillate between the practical theory and application. I mean, Germans are ready to pay money here because they're going to get jobs. They're getting good resource. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That was a really, really insightful session. So I think thanks a lot for your time, sir. It was really a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Tejas. It was very nice meeting you and talking to you.